6 months after 26-year-old emergency medical worker Breonna Taylor was shot and killed in her home by 3 Louisville police officers, all 3 were not charged with any crime directly related to the shooting death of Taylor, who was an innocent victim. One of the officers, Brett Hankinson, who has already been fired, was charged with 3 counts of wanton endangerment by a state grand jury stemming from firing shots which went into neighboring apartments. Members of the Denver Nuggets and Los Angeles Lakers reacted to the news earlier today.
Obviously, the goals that we're trying to achieve, we're very far away from after seeing today's verdict. It was a disappointment. We felt like we've, not saying taken a step back, but we haven't made the progress we were seeking on. Our voices aren't being heard loud enough. But we're not going to stop. We're going to continue. We're going to continue to fight. We're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to use our voices.
I mean, there's really no words for that. Everybody knows that's not right. And, I mean, this is the first time I'm hearing about that, but like that's heartbreaking because I know a lot of people have been doing a lot of stuff to try to get the justice that situation needs. And to hear that happened is not right.
I know that we've been using our platform down here, TJ, to try to bring about education and a voice, and a lot of players on our team especially have also spoken out on justice for Breonna Taylor, and we have not gotten that justice, and that's a shame, and hopefully that will change at some point.
Utah Jazz guard Donovan Mitchell, who played college basketball at Louisville, had this to say today. I don't have many words right now, but all I can say is I'm praying for the city of Louisville right now. Mike Wilbon is back here with me. Mike Wilbon, you heard the news that one officer would be indicted. Obviously, wanton endangerment was the charge, not murder, not manslaughter.
Or shooting into another apartment.
Right. That's right. The other two officers were not charged. Your reaction?
I got several reactions, Stephen A. The first one is I'm not surprised. Part of our outrage about this isn't the first time. It's not the 5th time. It's not the 10th time. We can go back in news accounts in our own history and find so many of these. I was thinking about when I was 10 years old in Chicago, 2 names that people may not realize, Mark Clark and Fred Hampton. There were as many as 99 bullets that went into their apartment in a similar raid, a pre-dawn raid. 1 bullet came out. And you know what happened? You know how many people were convicted? None. Their deaths were ruled justifiable homicide. All right? So when you talk about today's situation, where these 2 officers you mentioned, they were cleared by the grand jury of any wrongdoing and found justified in the shooting. So look, we have to press on. You heard so many voices there. What I really want to sort of point out to people who are younger is the pursuit of justice is not a sprint. It's a marathon.
It's a marathon.
And it's particularly a marathon in the context of what we're talking about now leading up through Breonna Taylor and others. And so this is going to have to keep going. Missing 1 game, missing a couple of games is not going to change anything dramatic necessarily. Right. The pursuit of it has got to be dogged and determined.
This particular, and I'm going to touch on this tomorrow and beyond, please don't get me wrong, but I want to move this conversation forward in this regard because we've seen so many protests, we've seen players, really, really expressing themselves for all the right reasons. But it comes down to what are you going to do about it? What are you really, really after? Because that's what a lot of people in our society are asking. Now, this particular case in the state of Kentucky, it has, what is it called? No-knock warrants, okay? Now, that's not applicable to this case because the Attorney General said that this didn't involve a no-knock warrant. But it's interesting. Do you know that no-knock warrants, obviously that exists in Kentucky? So does a license to carry. So does stand your ground laws, a la Trayvon Martin from years ago. So if you can execute a no-knock warrant in a state, and that same state there's a license to carry, and that same state there's stand your ground laws, that's a powder keg waiting to happen between citizens and law enforcement officials. Maybe, just maybe, if players aim their sights at making sure that those laws are modified or flat out eradicated or changed, some of these issues that we repeatedly find ourselves having to address, maybe.
You're
just
talking about
maybe,
very
we might not
specific
That's
lobbying and pressure
That's right.
being applied, and that's where I think one of the things the players have done very skillfully is tap into other sources of people who can help them, owners,
That's right. Owners.
executives,
That's right.
apply that pressure.
Commissioners.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you, Mike, as always. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.